As an introvert, you wear a mask. You have anxiety and you cover up yourself. If you don't get rid of that mask, you are never going to get ahead. It's time to take the mask down and show the world who you really are. My name's Nick Tabor. I'm a personal trainer at Physical Fitness, Strength, and Wellness. We talk about anxiety, depression on this video because I've lived through it. I've done what I've done for a reason. Now, we do this. Believe it or not, it's so easy to make up stories. When I was a kid, I grew up with anger. I was wicked introverted. I wasn't comfortable in my own skin. Growing up with a disability, it's very easy to do that. It's very easy to say that you're not confident in yourself. You're not who you are. So what we need to do is we put a mask over ourselves and we wear that physical mask over our face and we don't show the world who we really are. This is hell. This is absolute hell. It's like Chris Rock, one of the great comedians, has this thing, he calls it the guy lie, where you make up a lie about something, and in order to cover up that lie, you gotta have another lie, and to cover up that lie, you gotta have another lie, and cover up that lie, you gotta have another lie, and it goes one and one and one and one and one and the other. But what happens is we build so much of it, we lose ourselves. We lose who we really, really are. I remember there was a point where I was trying to impress these people when I was very, very young. And, they're like, oh, tell us about yourselves. And it's like, like kids have this thing where like, oh, you like this music? And I'm like, yeah, I like that band. I had no idea what X band was, It was this particular band. Okay, yeah, I like this, I like that. I remember one was Marilyn Manson, and this guy, if you know who that is, all right, you probably could figure it out. But this guy was just like the dude that would make the the conservative crowd nervous. Oh, look what these kids are getting into today. Oh my God. And it'd kind of freak people out. Would kind of just be crazy. He was, some of his songs were kind of catchy. However, not really much. But the point of it is, I was like, oh yeah, I love Marilyn Manson. I love all this, and I've seen all his videos on MTV, and I do that. And it was like, but I was doing that to putting that mask of being a Marilyn Manson fan because I wanted to impress people, but I wasn't impressing myself. And I mean, it's one thing to learn about yourself, but it's another thing to hide who you are when you're afraid how other people are going to feel about you. And if they don't like the false feeling of who you are, then that's okay. They don't like the real you. But in the end, you don't know who you really are. You don't know you. As a teenager, we put those masks on. And when I was in my early 30s, it's finally when I broke and I turned out and I said, who the heck am I? It's time I had to take all that baggage down. And I had to stop being this person who I thought I was. And I learned who I really was. And it was the hardest couple of years of my life I ever had. Again, with anxiety, with disabilities, it's easy to do it. What you gotta do is you gotta take that mask down and you gotta be your authentic you, your true self. So how do you do it? Let's go ahead and talk about it. There's a 3-step process. Take the mask down and be your authentic you. Step number 1, you want to talk to your tribe. You want to ask them about that. The people who are the closest to you, the trusted people. Hang out with them because naturally you're picking up the real vibes from them. Like my wife, my parents, my sister. Those are the people who are the closest to me in particular. Everybody gets that 3 to 5. And I mean, I have 5. I'm lucky for that. You talk to them and you pick up their vibes. Like For music, I had like Marilyn Manson, but I always, always, always dug Motown music. I always dug jazz, and that came from my dad. I always, always, always loved 60s and 70s music. That came from my mom. Practically a lot of my record collection or a lot of my music collection is jazz. That's from my dad. It's from both of them, actually. My wife has an authentic one. Like, okay, I took that, and I was like, okay, that's me. But you've got to do those things. You got to talk to that tribe and see how they are. And there's a reason why they are the closest to you, because those are like-minded folks. So you got to do that first. Step number 2, you've got to do the hard things, and you've got to challenge yourself daily. And we just did a video on this chronologically. If you go back, there is a specific video on how to do the hard things. But if you challenge yourself daily when you do something that is hard, where you take something that is somewhat impossible, you break it down into multiple steps and you do that. The thing is when you wear that mask, you're just going with the motions and you're going with what's easiest. You're going with the flow of the ocean of life and society. Oh yeah, I like that guy. I like that guy. I do this, I do that. Oh, I like baseball. And you're just trying to fit in, but you're not authentic. What you've got to do is you've got to try stuff, and you've got to do those things that are going to be slightly uncomfortable for you because you're trying to explore. And you're going to do that daily. Break it down and do that, and there you will go ahead and see what things are good. Third thing you do is you go ahead and journal your experiences. I am a big fan of journaling. I am a big fan of being able to just document your thoughts. Just showing my age a bit, but if I still had an Angel Fire website, very few people know what that is, but basically you think way before the age of Wix now, I guess, or like Facebook, MySpace, there was this place called Angel Fire, also Lycos, and a couple others. I think Homestead was one of them. But before the age of social media, there was this big blog that you could just journal your stuff and you could just talk about things. Whatever you wanted to talk about, but it was completely free, and it was when the internet was very primitive. But I'm getting ahead of myself. But anyway, what I did was I just wrote every day. And I would get in, I'd write, and I'd do things, and then I'd go back, on a weekend, and I'd look at that. I'm like, yeah, I really did enjoy that. I want to do that again. I really did do this. And I really did do that. What I did was when I looked at it and I started having my tough period in time and I realized that I was having a mask for nearly 30 years, I looked at some of these journals and then I realized one of the things that really was a common thread. I liked helping people. I always liked teaching. I always liked doing something like this. I always liked doing videos. I always liked doing, one of the things I really loved was I loved doing traveling. In fact, my day job, I work with a travel company. I'm a manager there. I always loved teaching. And then I fell into things and I found what happened. I always wanted to do teaching because I wanted to teach, challenge, celebrate, and then challenge myself. It's the basis of the one word climb. It all made sense. But it's authentically what you need to do to be your authentic self. Take that mask away. You do not need to impress anybody else in this world but yourself. To be like somebody, to like those things, to do that, especially if you're a kid where you try to have those certain like-minded things to fit in with friends, or maybe you try to get that guy or get that girl, you don't need to do that. Do those steps and then you will find the real you. Drop the anxiety and things will be great. We got a lot of other videos on this channel. I like to go ahead and see you in one right there. Go ahead and check it out. I'll catch you there, and as always, we climb.